Tiger, my man. We are back. This Sunday Sifter week 12. We're getting there. We are getting there. There's only 5 weeks left of football in the regular season. Last week I was on the Starter Stream Show on the playerprofiler.com YouTube channel. This week we're back, the Sunday Sifter with Tiger. My man, how'd you do last week?
Pretty good. I think I only lost 2 leagues. And
Matchup?
one of them I was never going to win.
That's good. That's good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? I did not make it home for Thanksgiving. I will be home for Christmas in a couple of weeks, but do you have a good Thanksgiving? You eat a lot of turkey? You eat a lot of, what'd you guys have?
Yeah.
Prime rib?
Yeah. Or we just had ham. And we had
just had ham?
We had this turkey, bacon, weird stuff with I don't know.
Turkey bacon?
Know what it was. Nah, it was bacon on top, and there was turkey, and then there was something below it.
That sounds decent. If you add bacon to anything, it's going to be pretty freaking good, if you ask me.
Yeah, and then there was Grandma's famous corn bake.
That's one thing I missed. That's one thing I always miss is the corn bake. This year we had corn bread that I made the night before in the skillet on the smoker. And the funny thing is I've never made cornbread on the smoker before. So I got a cast iron pan. I sprayed the cast iron pan. I always have it oiled, but I put a little more spray in it just because I didn't want the bread to stick to it. And it didn't stick to it, which is great. But I'd never cooked it on the smoker before. And what I listened to was, I think it was at 270 or 275 or 250, whatever it was. And it said to basically wait till the edges started to come around. So they came off the edge and kind of formed into a piece of bread. And the top started to get a little bit golden brown. And so I checked it every 15 minutes. And I was like, all right, I felt good where it was at. It didn't look doughy. It didn't look soggy. I stuck a toothpick in, nothing drew. I go, all right, it's probably good. Give it another 2 or 3 minutes just to finish it, get a little crisp, And I pull it off and I go sit and I bring it in the house and I put it on top of the stove. I'm going to let it cool off for 5 minutes and then I'll take it out of the pan. And it's sitting in the house on top of the stove. And I'm sitting there watching TV and something stinks. Something does not smell good at all. So I go in there, I take a cooling rack out, I flip the cast iron pan and take the cornbread out. And so the cornbread's about this thick, right? It's about 2.5 inches thick of cornbread in the cast iron pan and skillet. And the whole bottom, about half of the bread, the bottom layer was black. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I just blew this entire loaf of cornbread. And it's a square 8x8 cast iron pan, 2 inches deep. It was going to be fantastic. It's what I usually make pizzas in. You can make steaks on it, whatever. And so I had to shave off the bottom half of this cornbread. It's kind of disappointing. So I had some cornbread left, but not as much as I wanted to have. I wanted to have these fat 2.5 inch thick loaves. Oh my God, that would have been so good. But I did have some cornbread. I know you guys have cornbread every year. I missed that. We had turkey. We had smoked turkey and baked turkey. Smoked turkey was pretty good. We had the big drum legs. Oh, so stupidly good.
Also,
but anyway,
one more thing. I got on my YouTube video singing the McSorley song. I hit 1,000 views.
You hit 1,000 views on the McSorley song?
Yeah.
It's about time, huh? Christopher asked a question. He says, half-point PPR, Ayuk, Elijah Moore, Jacoby Myers. Pick 2. Ayuk, Elijah Moore, Jacoby Myers. Elijah Moore has been the number one wide receiver. Elijah Moore has been the number one wide receiver in fantasy football the last, I think, 4 weeks now, and he's playing against the Texans today. Justin Reed is their borderline Pro Bowl safety in Houston. He is a healthy scratch today due to disciplinary reasons. And then we have Brandon Ayuk against the Vikings. I think they're going to use Ayuk. I don't think he's going to have the biggest day because he's probably going to get a lot of Patrick Pete. But I also think Patrick Pete's going to be in.
It's basically Myers or Ayuk because if you're not taking more, then
correct. And again, Myers is, I think, wide receiver 34 on the season, and Kendrick Bourne is 32. Hunter Henry's a top 5 or top 6 tight end. They're going to want to run the ball against Tennessee. They have pretty good pass rush. I think they're top 3 in pressures. I would lean Elijah Moore, Ayuk, but I think Ayuk and Myers are very, very close.
I think I'm going with you because what do they take? Myers to score a touchdown.
He's had one
some games.
Yeah, he's had 1 touchdown 2 seasons, but that doesn't really base into much of it. Those are a lot of touchdowns are just luck, kind of being in that situation, because you see a lot of them every year that people get drawn off. Like Bryan Edwards should have 4 touchdowns, but he only has 1. It's just kind of a situational thing. Who has a better day, Damien Harris or Don Stevenson? I think if Harris is actually 100% and he's back, Harris is going to get the bulk of the carries. He's going to have the better day. But if he's not 100%, it's going to be Stevenson, obviously. Full point PPR, should I flex Pitts or Ty Johnson or one of the 49er running backs? If you have Elijah Mitchell and he is a go, I would play Elijah Mitchell. Otherwise, Pitts and Ty Johnson. If it's tight end premium, obviously I would go Pitts. But I think Ty Johnson's going to get a lot of pass work today. I don't think he's going to get much of the run work. I talked about this on Undercovered Ops early in the week. Houston's a weird one where they feel like the great matchup for running backs, but they're not actually the best running matchup for running backs. And especially the pass work. You're not going to get a lot of pass work if you get up early. You might see a lot of Tevin Coleman. LaMichael Pirine should be active. Let me see, the active inactives just came out. So I can actually tell you right now if Pirine is active. But Pirine's been, I think he came off the IR a couple weeks ago. Let me see here. Well, Michael Pirine, this is old. Let's see here. Jets, Houston inactives. Well, Michael Pirine is inactive, so it's going to be Ty Johnson and it's going to be Tevin Coleman. So Ty Johnson is going to be viable. I would be cool starting Ty Johnson in the flex. Pitts should have a fine day, but if it's tight end premium, I'd go Pitts. If it's regular, I don't have a problem going Ty. Might give you a little bit better floor, but I still like Kyle Pitts. What's up, boys? Pick 2, MVS, Robbie Anderson, or Slayton. I'm going Anderson and MVS if out of these two. Just straight up being more talented. Slayton's fast. All 3 of these guys are 4-3 guys, but Anderson has a better connection with Cam. MVS has a better connection with Rodgers, and Slayton really isn't on these guys' level as field stretchers. And you still have multiple guys in New York. Saquon's back. I like Anderson and MVS. Shout out. That's what I was thinking. It's super close. I'm thinking Myers and Ayuk will get about 8 to 12 and more. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I'm at with that. Ty Johnson or Van Jefferson, or roll the dice with Jeff Wilson. Elijah Mitchell. So this is a late game. It looks like Elijah Mitchell is going to play. Let's see here. Didn't come out in the last couple hours. Yeah, I haven't seen anything in the last couple hours on Elijah Mitchell being not playing. All signs point to him playing. He's got that finger injury. He's probably going to have a splint. I'm sure he's going to lead the team in carries, though. He's going to push Debo back out. Jeff Wilson is going to get a lot of receptions. He's still questionable due to rib and finger. Is expected to play. I wouldn't quite.
Ty Johnson here.
I wouldn't quite push the button on Jeff Wilson. Yes, I would take Ty Johnson here. Exactly. Thank you, Tiger. PPR pick 2.
Will never start Van Jefferson.
The thing is the door opened and then it got slammed shut by OBJ. I think OBJ is going to be a very underrated. I talked about that 2 weeks ago.
I just got a thing. TJ Watt is in. Joe Hayden is out.
Joe Hayden's out again. Damn. We never went over inactives. Let's go over inactives. So let's answer Josh and James's questions, and then we'll go over inactives and actives from the last hour. Okay, Josh says pick 2: Galladay, David Johnson, Ty Johnson, Dontrell Hilliard, or Dan Arnold. David Johnson.
Hillary is a Saints running back because they have
Tennessee Titans. Saints played on Thursday. Tennessee Titans. There was news that came out about an hour and a half ago that Deontay Foreman was going to get the bulk of the carries today. This is the same thing that happened 3 weeks ago when we were like, okay, is it Jeremy McNichols? Is it Adrian Peterson? Turns out they actually talked about it before the game and said Deontay is going to get the bulk of the carries. Sounds like Deontay is going to get the bulk of the carries again. Go towards Deontay there. So I wouldn't start Dontrell Hilliard. Arnold, last week, James O'Shag Hennessy came back, and Arnold had, I believe, 0 catches. That's going to be tough. He does play against Atlanta, but again, tough. I would lean Ty Johnson and Galladay here. Only reason I wouldn't play David Johnson is because I think he's still slow. He's going to get receptions and stuff, but again, he's playing the Jets. If they get up, it's not going to be a lot of work for him there. And Burkhead has been shown to get a bulk of the carries. So I'd go Galladay, Ty Johnson. Tiger, take this one. Cam Newton or Russell Wilson against the Redskins on Monday night. Yes, I did say Redskins. My bad.
Well, Cody, who's Cam playing?
Miami Dolphins.
You see,
I'm taking Cam Newton.
like, that's who I want to say, but I just don't. It doesn't feel right to take what should be a top 5 QB over a dude who didn't even have a team 3 weeks ago.
It's tough because the thing is, Russell's like getting, so that 1 week, 2 weeks ago, he was 822nd at 850 quarterbacks over the last 2 seasons and adjusted yards per attempt. Got better last week, but was still pretty bad. Still pretty bad, if I have to say. And then this week, you would think he's going to be even better. They're playing without Chase Young, the Washington team is. So I got to believe that Russ is back. I got to believe that Russ is going to be better than 55%
I'm
passing.
taking Cam here because I even started in the Patreon league. I started Cam over T-Law.
Yeah. Yep. Agree with that. Also, shout out, Tiger just said patreon.com/CarpentierNFL. We have a Savage Dynasty League. We did one this last offseason. We're going to add 2 more this next offseason. So if you want to jump in there, Carpentier NFL on Patreon. Also, we have a giveaway on Wednesday on Undercovered Ops show, Wednesday night, live December 1st. The giveaway is from November, which is if you go to prbreaker.com, use the promo code Cody10. You get entered in to win a free canister of cotton candy materia pre-workout. It's my favorite stuff. I just talk about it every week. But you go on there, and any purchase you make, you send it over to me. I enter you in for 5 entries into the wheel of names. Also, if you go to patreon.com/CarpentierNFL, you join any level, every level up, you get a free entry in all month of November. If you're already a Patreon, you're going to get entered in no matter what. So check that out. Let me know. Fran says, shout out. Appreciate you. Just check the net. Yeah. Elijah Mitchell's for sure playing. That's what, Russell Wilson or Hurts again. It's kind of the same corollary that you go with Elijah Moore is Hurts has been dominant every single game of his career outside of, I think, 1 game like 3 weeks ago. So I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts, and that's actually like the Konami King that I want.
I mean,
James, shout out. Appreciate you. Cordaro Patterson or Devonta Freeman, half PPR. Just saw this come across as well. Cordaro Patterson is officially active, and he will be getting his normal workload. He was questionable due to a sprained ankle. The thing is with him is you have to bet on it. You have to say, all right, is Cordaro going to play this entire game? If Cordaro goes out after the first drive, obviously you're going to want to have started Devonta Freeman. But if you need the boom, you got to play Cordaro. If you're going for floor, if you need 10 fantasy points, you got to play Freeman. What'd you say, Tiger?
I'm taking Freeman here because, I mean, I don't know. Cordaro Patterson, he's been hot every single week. Well, he's had like 1 7-point week, and that was the worst for him. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's due for a bad game.
Cordaro?
Yeah.
He hasn't had a good game in a while because he's been so banged up. That's the thing. But that's my thing. I'm saying is if you need 10 points or you need a 10 to 12 point floor, I'll play Devonta. But if you need the The thing you have to know about playing Cordaro is that you could literally throw up a 0 because he could get hurt. He could re-sprain that ankle the first drive, and then you're done. But he could also be 100% healthy, and he could give you that 25-plus point output, which is the gamble you're making with Patterson. If you're going for the floor, take Devonta. But depends on what your situation is.
If you have to win, you got to play Patterson.
There. Yeah. Yep. If you're playing safe, you got to play Devonta. If you're way behind already from Thursday or something like that, I play Cordaro. If you're projected to lose by 20, I play Cordaro, something like that. Jay, what's up, brother? Mitchell playing scares me off of Ayuk a bit. Think we see less Debo taking carries and playing more. Exactly, 100%. The thing about the Vikings is they're not the best against they're not the best against the run. Being Viking fans, we know this. My thesis has been all week that we can't tackle big backs, but my thesis all week has been that if San Francisco runs the ball 35 to 45 times and does play action and does exactly to us what we do to others, San Francisco will win this game. And I think they should. I think they will. If they don't, then they'll be screwed. But I think if they run the ball 35, 45 times, you're going to get play action to a Debo. I don't think Debo has a massive game, but I think that play action can help a Debo, Ayuk, and a Kittle. I think Kittle's going to have a huge game as well. I talked about that on Patreon last night. I did not do a show for the corner, but I did drop some props. Let me take Jay's name off here. You can see the whole thing. There's the props from the corner from yesterday. Robbie Anderson over 34.5. Odell over 36.5. Najee over 4.5 receptions against the Bengals. Javonte over 47.5 rushing yards against the Chargers. And the prop of the week, what we just talked about, George Kittle, I'm going over 58.5 receiving yards. Let me take that down. What do you think, Tiger?
I mean, I think I'd take that Kittle prop, but I wouldn't say that's the prop of the week.
I like that prop.
I'd say that OBJ prop is the prop of the week in my opinion.
That's fair. Franz says, "Can you enable super chat so we can give this man his money?" Appreciate you, Franz. I think I have to have 1,000. I think I have to have 1,000 subs before I can do super chat. So, you want to do a little something? Come on over to patreon.com/CarpentierNFL. But I can't enable super chat till I get 1,000 subs on YouTube. So I think we just clipped 200. So if you want to, if you're in the chat, click that subscribe button, click that bell, like the video, let us know. We appreciate all you guys in the chat always, every weekend. Andrew says, AJ, what's up?
Goes up to my channel, NFL Youngest GM.
Dude, you're a dork. AJ Green or Nick Westbrook rest of season? I'm not big on this Titan situation. I'm not big on this Titan situation at all. I would lean AJ Green just because he's a vet. I think this Arizona offense is only going to continue to progress. You're going to get Hopkins back, and we know AJ Green is going to continue to eat.
I mean, I have an AJ Green jersey, so gotta take him.
You got a cough or something, brother. You got something stuck in your throat. Pig stuck in your throat. I have
an AJ Green jersey.
There you go. But it's a Cincinnati one, right? The thing about AJ Green is this. This is exactly how the season started. 6 targets, 6 targets, 6 targets, 6 targets. And then he regressed a little bit. And the last 3 games, 8 targets, 5 targets, 7 targets. You can't shy away from that in this Arizona offense. It's just too prolific of an offense to kind of ignore that. Like, what we've played in 10 games this year, and he's went 78, 50, 66, 79, 67, 112. He's went over 50 yards 7 times. Like, he's not playing that alpha role, which is, I think, benefiting him. Who's a sneaky dynasty trade target for a playoff push, Tiger?
Well, what?
Who's somebody that you think could break out the second half of the season that hasn't broken out? Got anybody?
Well, see, I want to say Christian Kirk, but he can't break out. We've been saying he's going to break out since 2017 or 2018, whenever he got drafted.
Kind of. He technically has, though. He technically has had those big boom weeks, like 7 for 104, 5 for 75 and touchdown, 4 for 50 and touchdown. He's done it, but again, you're playing without DeAndre Hopkins. That's the thing, is DeAndre Hopkins is going to come back and he's going to regress. 6 for 91. Like, my buy right now, I talked about this on Undercovered Ops this past week, I should say, not last week. Leviska Chanel. I think Leviska Chanel's role is only going to keep growing. I don't even think he's had a down year, but a lot of people are considering Leviska not a bust, but more so just like a failure of a second season. And it's like you look at his first year, 58 receptions, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's on pace to break that. 40, 408, 0 touchdowns this year. The only thing he hasn't done is scoring the touchdowns. He's going to have more receiving yards he did last year. He's going to have more receptions he did last year. A comparable guy. We already compared him to A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel coming in as a prospect. And now you're looking at middle of year 2, who had a great rookie season and then a down second year. And now in year 3 is destroying Deebo Samuel. So I'm continuing to buy Leviska. The opportunity is only going to continue to grow. He's literally competing with Marvin Jones. I respect that. And freaking Laquan Treadwell right now. Like Laquan Treadwell is getting routes now that Jamal Agnew's out. Tavon Austin, like, are you kidding me right now? Chanel against Austin, Chanel against Treadwell. Get out of here.
I'm gonna say 2
Leviska has had 10, 4, 4, 8, and 5 targets the last 5 weeks. He's going to continue to get targeted. Just trust it and buy it.
I'm going to say 2 of them because one of them's a Viking. I don't want to be a homer. So the Viking one is, you can probably guess it, it's Tyler Conklin. I mean, as he broke out, I don't know. I don't know what classifying his breaking out is. Like, getting more than 1,000 yards or what. But, and the other one is, we were talking about him earlier, Tyler Johnson.
Yep. Both Tylers. They've been
Johnson or even Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller should be back in a couple of weeks, I believe. Or did he come back this last week? Let me look here. Yeah, he's supposed to be ready. He's ready to practice 3 weeks ago. Says he is. Arian's update for status today. What's he say? He might be active today.
I'm just saying one of those 2. Either Johnson or Miller.
Scotty Miller is active and will play for the first time since he injured his toe in week 3. Adds more speed to the passing game with Brown still sidelined. So that's a good eye from Tiger there. I did not see that he was going to be active this week. I thought it was going to be next week. So Scotty Miller, think about that one. If you're in those deep leagues where he might have got cut in deep dynasty leagues, it's an option. He's got more speed than Tyler Johnson does, and we already know he has that rapport with Brady, even though Johnson does as well. I'm not saying not to buy Johnson, but Scotty Miller.
Sure, he caught a long touchdown in the Super Bowl last year.
Scotty Miller was strong last year, dude. Scotty Miller was just like that sneaky guy that honestly was a pain in the side of Evans and Godwin owners all season because he just had that knack for the ball, and Brady just hit him, and you'd be like, his stat line would finish, it'd be like 1 for 50 and a touchdown, and you'd be like, dude, could you imagine if that went to Evans? Dude, why didn't that go to Godwin?
That's why I'm not that big a fan of our Tampa offense because there's too many guys there. They have Vaughn, Fournette, and Jones at running back. They got Bate, Gronkowski, and O.J. Howard at tight end. And then they got Godwin, Evans, Miller, and Johnson.
Listen to these Scotty Miller stat lines from last year. 5 for 73, 3 for 83, 5 for 83 and a touchdown, 6 for 109 and a touchdown, 1 for 48 and a touchdown. Like, he's going to continue to keep doing this. It's just what he's going to do if he's healthy. Let's go. We got a couple more here. Tua, Jimmy G, or Teddy B?
Not Jimmy. Not Garoppolo.
Jimmy's playing the Vikings, Tua's playing the Panthers, and Teddy's playing the Chargers.
I mean, I just don't want to take Jimmy or Tua. I kind of just have to take Teddy. Just because
I think Teddy's the worst.
Tua's a bum. Tua's a bust. But I will not take him. There's the big defense league that you brought me into, and I had Tua on my team. I want to trade him, but no one wants him because he's Tua.
Nobody wants him because he's Tua. No, I don't. That's the thing is, I actually disagree with Tiger. I'm not entirely off of Tua today. Let's look at the player profiler projections. Tua is 21st, Jimmy is 20th, and Teddy is 19th in projections at quarterback.
The
Literally
fact that
19, 20,
the
21.
fact that Brian Flores did not take Herbert or Hurts with his 5th overall pick 2 years ago. He's stupid.
The reason, so listen, this is what I would do here. Teddy's 19th, Jimmy's 20th, and Tua's 21st, all projected 16-7, 16-8, 69 projected points. I would go Jimmy here because it's in San Francisco, nice weather. Minnesota has the worst defense of backfield out of the three. Tua plays against Carolina, whose defense is only getting stronger with injuries. J.C. Horn is now out at practice with a red jersey on. Teddy's playing the Chargers in Denver in Mile High. Should be a run-heavy game. Los Angeles is a run funnel defense, and they have strong cornerbacks. So I would roll Jimmy. Full PPR.
I
We'll do a
might
couple
take
more.
Jimmy, but
We'll do a couple more, and then we're going to start doing some picks. It's 12 o'clock. We'll do picks until 12:15, then we'll cash out about 12:20. Full PPR. If Aaron Jones is healthy, play A.J. Dillon or pivot to Ramondre or Rex Burkhead. Play A.J. Dillon at all costs. I think Jones is probably going to be active. If he is, he's going to get a little work, but they're not going to just be like, oh, Aaron Jones, 100% workload. And even if they do, I think he gets hurt if they give him 100%. I'm scared to death. They do exactly what Carolina did and rushed him back. I'm 100% positive that Green Bay has a bye next week. So I'm not entirely sure why they're doing this and rushing him back so quickly. I get that they're playing the Rams, but again, bye week next week, and then Sunday Night Football against the Bears. So I think the smart thing to do is to rest Jones, and even if they play him, I think it might just be a limited workload. I'm playing AJ Dillon though. You're worried about Jacksonville drafting Justin Ross with Leviska? No, I do think that happens. I do think Justin Ross goes to Jacksonville. I think it only makes sense to match back up with Trevor Lawrence. But Leviska has an entirely different skill, an entirely different build. And once they realize this and they start using him like this more, they talked about this last week. They got beat by the 49ers. And they finally saw, like, hey, Leviska has everything Debo has. Maybe we should use him. So hopefully that kind of wakes them up and they start using Leviska like that. But, yeah, I'm not worried about Justin Ross because that's going to fill in the DJ Chark role. That's going to fill in the Marvin Jones role more than Leviska. Flex, Bateman or Ty Johnson?
probably Bateman.
You go
Probably
Bateman? Bateman against the Browns or Ty Johnson against Houston? Again, Watkins, Bateman, and Brown have only played one game all season together. And in that game, a couple weeks ago, Bateman was coming off of an injury, and then Brown got injured against the Dolphins. So this is going to be the first game where they're all three technically healthy, playing all full snap shares. Not worried?
I mean, either Bateman's going to get 5 points or not even. Either Bateman's going to get 3 points or 15 to 20 points.
Yeah.
And Johnson, he's either going to get 10 points or 10 points.
Yeah. Elijah Mitchell or Javonte Williams. If Mitchell plays, you got to play Mitchell. I think Mitchell's going to be a full go. But again, I like Javonte. I took the Javonte prop right here. Javonte's prop is at 47.5. I still like that. I'm still rolling with that because the Chargers are a run funnel defense. I think you're still going to get that basic split, 50% split between Javonte and Melvin. But I'm not quite sure it's going to be enough to overtake an Elijah Mitchell full workload. So I would roll with Elijah Mitchell. All right, Tiger, let's jump into, let me pop up FanDuel on here. We'll go over to FanDuel, make some picks like we did last week. 2 weeks ago when we did this, we finished 12-3.
I'm kind of glad that we lost the Sunday night and Monday night game because dang them Jets.
I've had a couple nice parlays the last over Thanksgiving. I missed a couple of the early games, and then that late game I had. Let me pop it up here. I had Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns. I had Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns with Bills winning by 15.5 or more. $3 won $189.
Also, what about the Packers tight end props? Because I want to see them too. Like,
Josiah DeGuire.
Or Mercedes or anybody.
Mercedes hasn't given us a damn thing, dude, all season.
He's
Been
due
smacking
for a game.
been smacking that all season. He just hasn't given it to us. All right, can you see the screen, Ski?
Sure.
DeGuire's at 13.5.
What about, is there a different guy?
I think I'm going to take DeGuire.
I mean, it's sad because I love Damien, but
2016 937 for DeGuire the last 4 weeks. 2, 2, 3, 2 targets, 2, 2, 2, 2 receptions. Do we trust it again? The number's at 13.5. He did that on one catch last week. He's done that on one catch every single week.
He's gonna have a no name on him, so I'd do it.
He's still got that no name factor.
I mean, I bet you 80% of football fans don't know who he is.
80% of what football fans? Most, yeah. I would say maybe
80% of football fans don't know who he is.
All right, I'll take the DeGuire one. I gotta zoom out a little bit. This is way too far in. Let's go back to the games. Let's pick these games. All right, can you see this at all?
Yeah.
Right here. All right. Mm-hmm. So we got Tennessee Titans. We got New England Patriots favored by 7.5 against the Titans. I would lean Patriots here.
Yeah, I think Patriots win this game, but I think the Titans can cover.
Patriots won last week 25-0 against Atlanta, 45-7 against Cleveland, 24-6 against Carolina. The last 3 games, they've combined to score 94 points, and they've given up 13 against the Panthers, Browns, and Falcons. And you think the Tennessee Titans, without Julio, without Derrick Henry, and without A.J. Brown, they're going to cover 7.
I'm sorry. Take them.
I was just saying, like, they just put A.J. Brown in IR. No Derrick Henry. Like, 7.5 in New England. It seems like a big number, but
it's a touchdown.
The Titans defense isn't that good. I think the Titans defense is getting a little too much credit here. This should honestly be like an 11-point line. Jets, Houston. For me, this is a stay away game.
No, I'm not. I don't want to take either of them because honestly, I don't know why, but I have a feeling it's going to be a blowout.
Which direction do you feel?
No idea. I think Texans. I don't trust the Texans because Justin Reed's holding a scratch.
Healthy scratch because of off-field issues. That's what they said.
He's their second best player, so only behind Cooks.
Agreed. That's why I kind of just want to stay away from this one altogether. I think if I had to bet it, I think I'd take the Jets. Wilson's back, Elijah Moore. I just like the connections better. But again, I don't like this game whatsoever. Philadelphia at New York Giants.
I'm taking Philly.
Likewise. I'm glad you finally got off the schneid and decided to go with me with the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember a couple weeks ago you said no. Wish Nico Collins would break out. We got in the chat, of course. I mean, no better week than against the Jets, so I'm all for it. I'm all
just
ears.
saying, we're gonna take the Eagles here. I'm just saying the number one jersey I want is Jalen Hurts.
Some
Christmas.
people know this, some people don't. But Tiger, before the draft, there's a tweet out there. You just have to find it. Before the draft, Tiger put out that he would take, if he was the GM, he would take Jalen Hurts number one over Joe Burrow in that draft. And right now, I can't. I mean, I love Joe Burrow, and I think he's playing fantastic. But right now, I can't tell you you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't take Hurts over Herbert, but still.
Yeah, Herbert. I mean, that was the class before, wasn't it? No, that was the same class. Sorry, my bad. No, that was the same class. My bad.
No,
You're
because
right.
in the draft, in our home league draft, I was gonna take a QB, or like I had no idea who I was gonna pick, and Sutton already took Burrow and Tua, and I didn't know any of the guys, so I just took Herbert, and you thought I was stupid for taking him, but it ended up breaking out.
Yeah, he played fantastic. Yeah, but Brett, I am 100% in on that. The Nico number today is 27.5 receiving yards for Nico Collins over under against the Jets. I don't hate that. He should have hit it last week. He should have hit his number. We had the prop out on Nico. The two props we missed last week out of the 7 were Nico and Mercedes Lewis hitting 10.5. Nico had a ball. I think he had 9 yards, and then he had like a 10 or 12-yard touchdown that he caught, foot down, elbow down. They called him out of bounds because when his elbow came down, his hand touched out of bounds. His elbow was in. I didn't agree with it 100%, but I think Nico, the breakout's coming. It's just timing it. And now this being the week that I don't bet on Nico, maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. We agree on the Eagles over the Giants. Tampa Bay at Indianapolis. Tampa Bay favored by 3. Is Indianapolis getting too much credit here? Do you think Indianapolis can run the ball all over Tampa again?
I think the only thing Indianapolis has is Jonathan Taylor.
Agreed.
If Tampa just loads up the line, nothing's. I mean, they put like a 5-man rush. I think they win, but I don't think. No, just take Tampa.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I think you have to go Tampa. Atlanta is favored by 1.5 at Jacksonville. Cordaro's back. They're playing without Agnew.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd take the Falcons, but
Jacksonville's last 3 at home are 0-2-1 against the spread. Atlanta's last 3 on the road are 2-1.
If I'm being honest, I don't want to take either, but if I had to guess, it's going to be Atlanta.
Yeah, that's where I'm going as well, Atlanta. You said Atlanta. I'm going Atlanta. We're there. Carolina at Miami. I like Carolina here. Do you like Carolina 1.5?
Yeah.
This is kind of that spot where we had the Cam Newton return at home. Everyone got a little excited. It's Cam against Ron Rivera. They lost by 6. Very good game. Now you come back. Cam goes down to Miami. Do they get the win against Miami in Miami? So essentially pick'ems at 1.5.
Yeah.
Miami's on a 3-game win streak. 4-7. They beat Houston, Baltimore, the Jets. They beat Houston by 8, Baltimore by 12, and the Jets by 7. Do they beat Carolina at home?
No.
No? I don't think they do either. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 3.5. The last time these guys played was, I believe, week 3? and
want to hear
Pittsburgh
it.
won,
Don't say it.
or the Bengals won
No.
24-10, and Najee Harris had 14 receptions.
Did he really?
I'm taking the Najee over 4.5 receptions prop today. He had 19 targets and 14 receptions. On the season, he's had 5, 14, 6, 6, 4, and 5 receptions. The number's at 4.5 today. I think he's going to hit that number again in this game against Cincinnati.
I'm taking Pittsburgh here.
You're taking Pittsburgh here?
Cover. Yeah.
Cover 3.5. You think Pittsburgh wins this game then?
I think Pittsburgh wins.
All right, so the standings right now in the AFC East is 7-3 Baltimore, 6-4 Cincinnati, 5-4 Pittsburgh, Cleveland 6-5. Pittsburgh wins this game; they're 6-4-1, and Cincinnati becomes 6-5, and it jumbles us up even more. So you think Pittsburgh does that?
Yeah, I mean, now that you were talking about the Browns, or you said the Browns, and that made me think of I saw a video that imagine telling a dude in 2015 that in 2021 the Patriots would upset the Browns.
And blow them out. AJ Dillon, Eckler, James Robinson, Javonte Williams need 2. Eckler's number 1, and Robinson's number 2. The only reason Dillon's not number 2 is because I think Aaron Jones is going to play. If Aaron Jones is inactive, Dillon becomes number 2 over Robinson. If Jones is active, Robinson is ahead of Dillon for me.
I mean, for me, though, Javonte, he's not even in this picture with these guys.
He can't be. The only reason he can't be is because Melvin's there. That's the only reason he can't be. He should be there. He should be.
If Melvin was hurt, I still probably wouldn't take him. But.
Cowboys plan to back off Ezekiel Elliott after some right knee tightness has ailed him for more than a month. Team hopes to get ahead of the issue before the final stretch. Hope you have Tony Pollard. Would you ship Dalton Schultz for Jacoby in Dynasty? I have Goddard. Yes, I would. What do you think about starting Aaron Jones? I don't love it. I think what we might see quite a bit of we might see some slot work out of Aaron Jones. This is what I think. To be honest, Hilliard, Jeff Wilson, or David Johnson half PPR.
I'm taking David Johnson.
Yeah.
Freeman,
Ty Johnson, Bateman. Freeman, Ty Johnson, Bateman. I'm going Ty Johnson. I'm going Ty. No, I would not go Freeman. I go Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson and Bateman are very, very close.
Don't we have a question that was just Ty Johnson?
I think we had a Bateman Ty Johnson question. Just like I said, I think they're very, very close, but I think I lean Ty Johnson just by a hair, just because Bateman, Brown, and Watkins are all going to be playing for the first time this season where they're all healthy. And Andrews is playing. Okay, you take Freeman. I'm taking Ty Johnson. Oh, Shag Hennessy, yes, sir, is back off IR, and Leviska Chanel is said to get touches from the backfield. Yes. That's why I don't like Dan Arnold. O'Shea Hennessy came back last week, and Arnold had 0. What?
I said go down to O'Shea Hennessy's office right now.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett or Pittman PPR, full PPR. Honestly, oh my God, dude, I don't like this one. Honestly, I think I want to go Pittman. It makes me want to throw up my mouth, because I like Tyler Lockett a lot, and I think, I think you go Pittman because I think that Indianapolis is going to get held up in the run game a little bit, and I think they're going to have to pass, and obviously that means a big game for Pittman, but I'd go Pittman. Cam or Stafford? Cam. Hollywood, DJ Moore, Elijah Mitchell. Hollywood, I think, with the targets you have to go with. He's going to be back 100%. Elijah Mitchell,
I'm not
I
taking
love
it
Elijah
forward.
Mitchell. Huh?
I'm going Hollywood's my number 3 here.
Okay.
I'm taking Mitchell.
You going Mitchell number 1?
Yeah.
If
we
you believe in
talked
that
about
full
this
workload,
before. We talked about this before. Hollywood has Watkins and Bateman to play with for the first time this season.
All right, you're correct. You've corrected me. That's fair. Hollywood, Lockett, Elijah Mitchell, or DJ Moore. Rank in order.
I'm going Mitchell, Lockett, Moore, Hollywood.
That's where I was looking. I'm just afraid of that Eli Mitchell thing. I think if he was 100%, obviously I'd take him 100% number 1. And then I have Lockett and DJ Moore very close to each other, right back to back. It's tough for me to pick one between the two. DJ Moore is going to have a nice matchup today against Byron Jones, who's gotten burnt quite a bit this season. Lockett gets Washington. The only thing that scares me about Lockett is Russ. Russ just hasn't been there. He just hasn't been the dude.
I mean, I don't know if Mitchell's going to get, if he's going to play, he's going to have everything. If he does, then I think you have to take Mitchell. If he doesn't, then I think you got to take Lockett or Moore.
Coach Breezy asks, do we go with Pat Freiermuth or Gronk? The rule with Gronk is if Gronk is healthy, you play Gronk. I love Pat Freiermuth. Obviously, everybody knows, but if Gronk is healthy, you play Gronk. DJ Dallas, start or stash? Stash DJ Moore. Stash DJ Dallas. Sorry, not DJ Moore. Stash DJ Dallas. Great question, AJ. Appreciate you. All right, Tech, let's run through these questions quick. It's 12:21. Let's get out of here. We're going to get out of here at 12:20. Let's get out of here at 12:30. Los Angeles Chargers at Denver. Chargers are getting 3 points. How you feel about the Chargers right now?
Give me Chargers.
Okay. Minnesota Vikings +3 at San Francisco.
We're favored to win that game?
Huh?
We're favored to win that game?
No, we're favored to lose by 3.
Oh.
Vikings are 3-0 on the road the last 3 against the spread.
Okay, did they
San
not
Francisco
say that we were favored to lose by 3 against the Packers? So they're saying that the 49ers and the Packers are the same team? Oh. Good job, Federal.
Rams at Packers. Rams are favored by 2.5.
Give me Rams.
I was going to say Packers.
Well, I picked Rams on my.
I did too. I picked the Rams. I picked the Rams in my pick'ems. But my problem is that both of them are on Schneibs right now. So the Packers, let's see. The Packers have lost 2 in a row. Let's see, where'd this go? The Packers lost.
I mean, you can take the Packers if you think
Packers lost to the Chiefs. Packers lost to the Chiefs 13-7. And then Raj came back. They won 17-0 against Seattle. And they lost to the Vikings. So they're coming off a loss. And the Rams are coming off 2 losses, Tennessee and San Fran. Then they had a bye. Now they're at Green Bay. Stafford's a little dinged up. They get OBJ, but they're at Green Bay. This is a tough one for me. I think this might be more of a stay away than anything, to be honest with you. The total is set at 47.
I think the Rams win. If you think the Packers will lose, but they'll cover the spread, then take the Packers.
I'm not saying they're going to cover. The Packers are under their last 3 home games. under in 3 of their last 5 home games. They're 1-3, or they're 3-1 to the under on the season. The Rams are 3-2 to the under on the season as well. 47 in Green Bay. Let me check the weather in Green Bay. You get a little snow. How's the weather at your house right now?
It's like 30.
So you're going to have a
30
4
degrees,
o'clock
but it's
kickoff
sunny right
in
now.
Green Bay. It's going to be 31 degrees at kickoff. It's going to be 26 by the time the game's over. No snow. Cold as piss. I honestly just want to go under. These guys played last year. What's up?
Now that makes me want to take the Packers because the Rams don't experience snow.
So they played last year in the NFC divisional game, and it was Packers 32, Rams 18 in Lambeau Field. That total is 50. If it's 32 to 18, that total is 50. That total was set at 45. Last year, they hit 50, and Green Bay was favored by 7 in that game, and they won by 14. But again, that was Goff at quarterback.
You know what? You take whatever you want.
I don't really want to bet this game at all.
I don't really want to either.
Browns at Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 3.
Browns. If I had to guess, I'd say Browns. They cover.
You think they cover 3?
Yeah.
They beat the Lions by 3 last week. They beat Bengals by 25 2 weeks ago. They got beat by 38 against the Patriots, and they lost by 5 to the Steelers. They have been all over the board the last 5 weeks. It's basically which Browns. It's like which Browns team is going to show up. This is on Sunday Night Football as well.
I don't know.
All right, Seattle at Washington Monday night. Do you want to touch this one at all? It's a pick 'em again. A lot of these games we just don't want to touch because they're close, and I think they're going to be good games. Odell, Eli Mitchell, or Judy? Yes, I think Odell's getting a full snap share, and I really like Odell. I took his prop. I think it's at 36.5. 36.5. There it is. Yeah, I like Odell today. Eli Mitchell or Judy. I don't love any of these Denver passing. Yeah, right now I don't like anybody in this Denver passing game.
It scares me to take a dude from Denver because I know for a fact that either Judy, Fant, or Sutton is going to do really good, but the other two are going to do pretty average or do below average.
All right, Tiger. I'm going Odell here. I'm totally fine playing Odell. Elijah Mitchell and Odell is the question for me. Do we think Elijah Mitchell gets the full workload? I've talked about this pretty much this whole stream, but if Elijah Mitchell gets the full workload, I think the biggest thing here is if San Francisco runs the ball 35 to 45 times, they're going to beat Minnesota. If not, they won't. Elijah Mitchell, does he get 20 carries? He should. Will he? I don't know. Jeff Wilson's also there. It's tougher for me to play and trust Elijah Mitchell. I'm going to have to do it in a couple spots because I have him, but I really like Odell straight up. I just think it feels like the perfect Odell situation, doesn't it? He was talking about going to Green Bay. He didn't go. Now they're playing Green Bay in the second game, his first full game. I'm totally fine playing Odell here. All right, this prop, I just put in this parlay for you. Put in $5.44 to win 1,000.
Did you not put Washington?
I didn't pick Washington. I didn't really want to pick that game, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I respect Russ too much to bet against him like that.
I think Washington ruins them.
See, I don't think they ruin them. I think it's going to be a good game. I also think this Baltimore game, if I was going to bet, I'd take Baltimore. But again, I don't love that bet.
No, I don't really want to take that Baltimore game.
I don't either. So let's just roll with these eight bets. Patriots -7, Eagles -4, Tampa -3, Atlanta -1.5, Carolina 1.5, Pittsburgh 3.5, Chargers 3, Minnesota +3. $5 turns into $1,042.
I mean, pretty sure that's like way less than what we were getting before. We have that one time in the Jets week, 11,000.
That was a $12,000 bet 2 weeks ago.
12.
Yes. Put this down right there. We got one more question in the chat. Cam or Stafford? Cam.
I think we had that question
Cam.
before.
Yeah, Cam. I go Cam here. Is Odell a buy in Dynasty? Yes. Up until probably a half an hour. Like you wait till that game starts at 4:25. Then he's not going to be a buy anymore. I talked about it 2 weeks ago on Undercovered Ops. You can find that if you type into YouTube. Let me see if I can find it quick. I'll show you with the video.
Odell. If you either Odell's going to get 100 yards and a touchdown with 8 receptions, or he's going to get 2 receptions, 15 yards, and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's just, he's either going to play terrible or he's going to play really good.
So here's the video. Let's see here. I'll bring it over here. See if I can show it on the screen. To Chad that asks, if you go to the Player Profiler YouTube channel, it's right here. I talk about top 5 sleepers. I don't know why it's paused weirdly on my face. That's weird. If you go all the way to the end, 36-minute mark, I talk about Odell Beckham and him being a buy in the Los Angeles Rams. 33-minute mark, sorry. It's on this show right here. It's called Buying Beckham. If you can see it right here. See if I can zoom in a little bit. The show right here. Buying Beckham. That was 2 weeks ago, Undercovered Ops. That one was, the end of that show was pretty much dialed into Odell. Thanks for your time. Your consistency goes unnoticed. I appreciate you, Andrew. Trying to keep it going. I'm going to be honest. I didn't do the corner yesterday. I haven't posted as much on Patreon this week. I took a planned break. I needed to get some rest over Thanksgiving. And what happened was, I don't know if anybody's watched Yellowstone, but I literally sat down on Friday morning at about 10 o'clock and I turned Yellowstone on. And I've never watched an episode, right? But I'm a big fan of Wyoming and Montana, the whole area out there. And I sat down at 10 o'clock on Friday morning and I watched Yellowstone until 3 a.m. So I watched it from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. and I got through 20 episodes. And then I woke up yesterday morning. So I went to bed at 3 a.m., woke back up at 7, 9 o'clock. I turned it back on and I finished all of Yellowstone, caught up to episode 4 of season 4. Episode 5 is tonight. I caught all the way up in 2 days. I think it was 34 total hours. I watched 33 episodes of Yellowstone and I caught up completely. So I didn't do the corner live yesterday, but I did post on Patreon. I needed a rest and I just literally watched more TV, I think, in a 36-hour span than I've watched in the last probably 3 years. So that was cool, but did get caught up on Yellowstone. Yellowstone's a fantastic show. Tiger, I don't know if you've watched it. I know Mom has.
I don't think I've watched 36 hours of TV in the past 3 years.
I don't think I have either.
Ever since we got rid of cable, I couldn't watch SpongeBob anymore, so.
Literally just sat down and just didn't shut it off. It's kind of cool. But anyways, it's 12:33. What's up?
Mom said something about isn't your cousin in the new one?
So cousin Shelby is working at the ranch in the new show 1883. And then I have another cousin that lives in Jackson Hole right now. And his dad's an actor and he's getting into the acting game. And his name is Colton. on the new show 1883 as well. So that'll be cool. I got two cousins that are technically working on the scene of the new
I knew
1883
Shelby was there,
series.
but I didn't know what the other one's name was.
My cousin's name is Noah LaGrosse. He's there. He's going to be in the show actually. Shelby's not going to be in the show, but Noah's going to be in the show, which is a pretty cool.
She's behind the scenes, like training the horses.
Yeah, she works at the actual ranch. She works at the actual ranch, not the show. However you'd say that, the actual ranch that it takes place at. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys. It's 12:35. We've been here for an hour. Tiger, shout out at NFL's Youngest GM on Twitter. Check me out at CarpentierNFL on Twitter. Go to the patreon.com/CarpentierNFL. I already saw Franz jumped in just about 20 minutes ago, so I appreciate you, Franz, jumping on Patreon. Big shout out there. Again, prbreaker.com use the code Cody10, get yourself 10% off. They're doing 10% more off all month. That's 20% off of anything on the site, plus free shipping over 60. If you DM me what you bought, get you 5 free entries into the giveaway on Wednesday night, Undercovered Ops. Check it out. Appreciate you guys. Also go over to toppropfantasy.com. Use the promo code CarpentierNFL. I got a couple props going out there. I'm going to tweet them out shortly after this show is over. So I appreciate all you guys in the chat. Appreciate you guys checking through with us on Sunday mornings. We'll be back middle of the week, Undercovered Ops on the Player Profiler YouTube channel. Tiger, any last words? Those we're going to ship it out of here.
Just go subscribe to NFL's Youngest GM on YouTube and go follow them on Twitter.
Shout out. Appreciate you guys. Prop of the week. Here it is.